Hi, good morning. My name is Raquel. Thank you for coming to join me on my podcast today. Today is Sunday the 18th of December, and one more week to go, guys. One more week and it's Christmas. I will be podcasting anyway next week. I'll be here at home with my dogs and my cat. So is currently jumping against the window because he sees a little fly or some bug or other on the other side of the window. So if you hear noise, that's him jumping against the window. He was up here a minute ago, but he decided to play with the bugs or whatever. So yeah. I have a finished object, but I don't have it to show you anymore, so what I'll do is I'll add the photo at the end of the podcast, of the episode. It's a pair of socks I was knitting for that someone commissioned me to knit. I dropped them off at RGO Knitorama yesterday so that the person can go pick them up. She was supposed to pick them up yesterday, but she sent me a text saying that she wasn't able to, so she's only going to go on Monday, which is fine. No, at least they're there. I don't have to worry about rushing over there to drop them off. So the rest of the week I caught up on my advent scarf, which I had fallen behind because working on the socks. So last week I was over here more or less, and I knit all of this during 1 week. It's 30 rows. It takes me about 40 to 50 minutes or so to knit each glue, and I finished the socks on the Monday morning, and what I did was on Monday morning, and then Monday evening I just started on this, and I managed to do about half the clues that was missing. No, I basically got all the way up to the 11th of December. So last week I got up to last week Sunday's clue, and then so this was on Monday evening, and then on Tuesday morning I downloaded that day's clue and I knit on the clue from the previous day, and then in the evening I basically finished it up, so I was up to date as of the 13th of December. And then Friday I downloaded the clue, but I decided not to knit on it. I didn't feel like knitting on it in the morning, so I just knit on my blanket, which I've got here to show you. So now I've fallen behind again, so I need to catch up on Fridays, yesterday's, and today's. But I'll do that quickly today. But I've already put in a stitch marker to show you this is where I'm at, so next week when I show you, hopefully it'll be finished by then. And at the moment it's quite long, so I still have a week's worth of clues to add, and I don't know if I'm gonna turn it into an infinity cowl after all. I might just keep it as a scarf, and I might add, I'll see how long it is, and I'll see how much yarn I've used. I think the last time I weighed the yarn, I only used maybe approximately 30-35 grams per skein. Actually more of the colored yarn than of the black, yeah, more of the colored yarn than the black yarn. So I'll just see how many grams I have left over, how long this is, and I might add more length to it, or we'll see. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it is at the end, because obviously it still needs to be blocked, and it'll grow with blocking. So, but I'm really liking this. I'm really glad I tried it. Sorry guys, I think it's from staring, having the light shining in my eyes. I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's what I worked on. And then so on Tuesday I was back up to date on this. So basically what I've been doing is I knit on this in the morning, because I download the clue like straight away in the morning, and then I knit on it before going to the office, and I usually manage to finish the whole clue before leaving. And then so that leaves me leaves me at lunchtime when I have about 20 minutes or so after having lunch. And then in the evenings, of course. In the evenings, I have some knitting time, depends on what time I actually get home, but you know, I still make dinner, I play with the dogs, I play with the cat, and take the dogs out for a walk, so that leaves me about 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe, of actual knitting time. So, and even that is not like straight knitting time because I stop to check something online, or I, you know, watching TV and focusing on what's going on, like kind of stop knitting, or Mr. Soot gets into things he shouldn't get into. So yeah, you know, it depends. What I have noticed is I average about 3 squares on my blanket per evening, and I did the calculations. I should be getting about 5 done per day to be able to finish this on time by the end of the year. But I have another whole week off, so I'm hoping that I can get a lot done during that time. But we'll see. And I think last week I mentioned that I broke my needles and I was working on DPNs. And then on Wednesday I remembered had these and fall on the floor. I have these small needles. They're bamboo needles as well. And I got these when I was in Australia at Thorncraft. And I got several sizes, and this is like the 3mm size, which is what I'm using for my blanket. So the DPNs were working fine, but they were constantly getting caught in the rest of the blanket, so that was annoying me, and I decided to change to this. So this is, let me show you the right side. This is what I did this week. I'm just all folded up, so I did the whole first line of the border, and I started the second line of the border, and then I still have to do the border along the long edges. So yeah, it's gonna take a while, but like I said, hopefully during that week that I'm off, I do have plans to tidy up my craft room, and I'm all tangled up, sorry, I'll just leave it. I do have plans to tidy up my craft room, but I'm hoping that'll take just maybe either the whole day, one whole day, or 2 mornings, and then so it's easy now if you hear any noise, and then on the rest of the time I can just focus on the blanket, and I do want to try some spinning. I have like the braid that I started in October. I want to finish that also by the end of the year, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how far I get. And then, yeah, that's basically it. The rest of this week is really, it's a weird week. It was nice on Monday. Then Monday evening, late afternoon to evening, clouds started rolling in, it started to rain. We had rain the rest of the week, and pretty heavy rainfall as well, and storm weather, basically, strong winds and everything, until Thursday, Friday morning. It's still kind of rained just a little bit, but cleared up completely by Friday afternoon. And then yesterday was a lovely day. Today is another lovely day. It's like clear blue skies. It's quite warm. Yesterday I walked around. I did take my jacket and scarf with me when I went downtown, but ended up taking them off basically the moment I left the door. I walked to the end of the street and I was taking off my jacket because it was so warm. So yeah, it's, even though, you know, we're not officially in winter yet, it's like Wednesday 21st like is officially winter, and it'll also be the shortest day of the year. But yeah, we still have temperatures like between 13 and 18 degrees on a daily basis. It does get colder at night, cooler and everything, but not, like I said, I'm still walking around I have been wearing my long sleeve, sorry. I have been wearing my long sleeve sweaters that I've made over the year, this past year. But personally, I find it still too warm to wear them. So I did wear one yesterday, but then, like I said, I didn't need my jacket. I was fine without the jacket. In the evening, I did put my jacket on because it did turn cooler and all that. But no, during the day, I'm not really wearing a jacket. And because in the morning, when I leave the office, when I leave for the office, I leave my house, go straight to the garage, and then when I get to the office, it's just like 5 steps from my car to the front door of the office. I don't take a jacket with me unless it's raining, of course. Then I do cover up. But so yeah, it's been kind of a weird week. I think the forecast is for sunny weathers till the end of the year. I know, it might change. We never really get a white Christmas here unless we go up to Serra de Estrela, which is like the mountain range between here and Spain. But even that is only like on the very highest points of the mountains. So yeah, I really do miss the cold winters from when I lived in Holland, and the snow. Really like that. I'd love to see the reaction of Dakota and Rusty in the snow. But I'm not talking about little layers. I'm talking about like nice thick layers like we used to get in Holland of snow, like a good 10 centimeters of snow. Just see their reaction, because I think they'd go completely mad. That would be fun. Also, Soot's, like I said, Soot's chasing flies on the other side of the window. The flies are on the outside, and he sees them. Crazy cat. So yeah, he misbehaved himself this week on several occasions. One of those occasions, he broke like a piece of ceramics, like it's like a pot that I have on top of my cupboard over here, and I think that frightened him pretty much, that he hasn't tried again, or at least he hasn't tried to get up there again. But the other day I came home and these books were all on the floor. Seriously, I don't know. I think what he did was he climbed up into this one, and there's a hole towards the back, so he got through to the back, and then he couldn't find his way back out again. So what he did is just basically pushed 2 layers of books on the floor to get out. I mean, it wasn't like this whole pile, it was like only like the top ones, but it was these and the ones behind, because this is 2 layers deep of books. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to close up the hole in this one over here. I'm gonna get some wood cut out and put in the back so that it gets closed up, so that even if he jumps onto that area over there, he can't actually get to the back of the cupboard, which was like the whole idea of me putting this thing here, because I didn't want him to get behind there to go to the cables. Although he doesn't seem to be turning the cables anymore, and he seems to be doing better with the yarn as well. He still goes for the yarn when I'm knitting because he sees it moving, and he loves these needles. He loves the end. Here, this end, whenever he sees it moving like this, he tries to grab it, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I got my needle stuck somewhere, and I look and it's in his mouth. So yeah, what can I say? I mean, I'm the one who ventured into having a cat when I had 2 pretty calm dogs, and I have a crazy little cat running around, so that's okay, I don't mind. It's a bit of a change, but an adjustment, but I'm fine with that. Other than that, he behaves himself. I guess he wastes his energy during the day with the dogs, or at least he does at lunchtime. And in the evenings, he spends about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes a bit longer, running around like crazy, playing with the dogs, and then he's like, okay, time for sleep, and he plops himself on my lap, and that's where he stays the rest of the evening. Preferably on the blanket I'm knitting, because I have the blanket rolled up, so that only the part that I'm working on is like readily available. The rest is all rolled up on my lap. But he wants to lie on that one, not on the this light blue one that I have here, which is usually covering my legs and my feet. He doesn't want that one. He wants this blanket. And Rusty's the same way. The other day, Soot got up for whatever reason, and Rusty decided that that was his opportunity to get onto my lap, and that's exactly what he did. He came onto my lap and lay down on the blanket, and then when Soot came to lie down again, he was like looking at me, but now I have no place, so he lay down next to Rusty on the other side. So that was okay. They get along fine. It's funny, sometimes I can never catch them on time to film them when they're playing, because it's hilarious to watch. Whereas Dakota's really gentle with him. Dakota's gentle with, like, when she's playing with Rusty as well, she's really gentle, she never really bites down. But these two guys, Rusty and Soot, they're like little terrors, because when they bite, they really bite. They don't care about being careful or whatever. They really bite, and Soot keeps going after Dakota's tail, keeps going for her legs. So yeah, but no one's been injured. Every time Dakota sometimes squeals because he's maybe a bit too hard or something. But I go look, and there's no actual puncture wounds or anything. So they're having fun, but they're not hurting each other. And actually, Soot freaks out when Dakota squeals or when Rusty squeals, because he knows he's done something he shouldn't do, and he disappears. And then he slowly comes to me, as if by coming to me he's asking me for forgiveness for having done something he shouldn't have. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at this. It's gonna be a super short episode. I'm gonna add the photo of the socks, of the finished socks, and at the end I have to go make some more soup today. It won't take as long as last week, because last week I just basically made the basis for my soup for like the next 5 weeks. I like to do that every now and then, instead of every week, doing the whole thing from scratch. This way I've already got, like, basically what I did was depends on what I have in my freezer and what I can get my hands on, but last week I had some potatoes, I had some onions, I had some pumpkin, and I just cooked those through, and then took the, mashed them all down to liquid form, and then put them into Tupperwares, into separate Tupperwares. I managed to get 5 weeks worth of, so into 5 Tupperwares, and that's now the basis for my soup that I'm making today. I'm just going to add some, what do I have in my freezer? I don't know, I have to see what I have in my freezer, but I'm just basically going to add some vegetables again, and I don't buy the pre-packaged vegetables. I go to the market and buy the fresh vegetables. Basically, on the day I get them, I just, if I don't, other than the ones I use immediately to make the soup, I just chop them up and put them in correct portions for the soup I make, and put that in the freezer. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do right now, and then I'll come back and I'll edit this and I'll upload it, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my day knitting, taking the dogs out for a walk, and playing with the cat and the dogs. So yeah, and I'll see you guys next week on Christmas Day, because I will film a short episode probably. Hopefully I'll have a scarf to show you finished, it'll be finished up to the 24th. We'll see what I plan on doing with it afterwards, depending on the length and how much yarn I used. I still haven't decided yet. My initial idea was to turn it into an infinity scarf, cowl, but we'll see. We'll see how big it is and if I still want to work on it anymore or not. And then hopefully I'll have done a whole bunch more on my blanket. But like I said, it's kind of boring to keep showing you just blue squares. So yeah. I'm not planning on starting anything new. I want to get the advent scarf off the needles first and then get a bit more done on my blanket. I do have one item I need to knit, but I already told the person that only towards the end of the year will she get it, so she's okay with that. So yeah, that's what I plan on doing. I want to have basically my needles free until the end of the year, so that when I start next year, and I have several knit-along ideas for next year. So if you want to donate the prices, just contact me. I greatly appreciate it. I am planning on making some project bags. I'm hoping to get some of that done next week. I have some year-long knit-alongs planned, some monthly knit-alongs planned, but I'll talk about that more on the last episode for this year, which will be on the 31st of December, which is a Saturday, and that's not my usual podcasting day, but I will be filming a special episode on that day. So yeah, that's my plans for the next couple weeks. Other than that, I don't think I have any other things planned. No, so I'm gonna leave it at this. Like I said, short episode, which is fine, you know. I don't have that much knitting to show you guys this week, and next week will probably be short as well. So I'm gonna say goodbye and have a nice week, and I'll talk to you guys on Christmas Day. Bye!